When we look at the shining eras of history, we always see the same truth. Wealth has never been completely safe. Not during the rise of empires, not when revolutions tore societies apart, not even in those calm-looking years between two great wars. Being rich has always come with risk. From the palaces of Babylon to the marble villas of Rome, wealthy people understood a reality that others did not. Money was not just money, it was power, insurance, and a means of survival. While ordinary people believed the system would last forever, the elite were calculating how to stay standing when the system eventually collapsed. The real issue is not how they became rich. It is how they managed to hold on to their wealth while everything around them fell apart. To understand this, we have to go back to ancient times, when wealth was not measured by bank balances, but by control over resources that others could not access. Thousands of years before Christ, in the city-states of Mesopotamia, the most influential merchants and rulers did not lock up their wealth in chests. They tied it to the power of temples, agricultural land, and large trade routes. The kings of Ur and Lagash made their wealth almost untouchable by intertwining it with religion. Temples were both places of worship and the banks of their era. Seizing a temple meant not only making a political move, but challenging the gods, and few were willing to take that risk. The same mindset continued in ancient Egypt. During the reign of the pharaohs, most wealth came not from currency, but from production. Fertile lands of the Nile, massive grain stores, and gold mines in Nubia. Taking control of such resources meant destabilizing the entire state. Wealthy families used temple endowments similar to modern inheritance protection systems. Even when administrations changed, the lands remained secure because the most valuable thing of that era was the food that kept people alive. In the Greek world of the 5th century BC, a different method emerged: mobility. Merchants of Athens and Corinth knew the dangers of being wealthy in one city, so they spread their wealth across multiple ports, invested in ships, and built ties with bankers in different city-states. It was an early but effective version of today's offshore system. If one city fell, they could simply relocate and start again elsewhere. Rome advanced this strategy even further. Senators and generals saw firsthand how ruthless politics could be. Confiscations, coups, sudden shifts of power. Everything could disappear overnight. So Rome's richest never kept all their wealth in one place. They bought land in various provinces, made financial agreements with foreign nations, and hid portable valuables in secure regions. They diversified not only their investments, but also the legal systems in which those investments existed. When Rome began to collapse, the pattern shifted again. As the state weakened, elite families moved away from public investments and turned toward private, hidden wealth. Fortified estates, private militias, and direct trade networks with barbarian tribes became their new safety nets. When the empire officially fell in 476, the treasury was empty, but wealthy families still controlled land, production, and manpower. During the Middle Ages, powerful European families used the church as a natural vault. Kings who needed money for war could seize the property of their rivals, but touching lands donated to the church was extremely difficult. Families protected their assets by sheltering them in monasteries. Banking dynasties like the Medici developed systems that allowed wealth to be transferred between cities without physically transporting gold. If trouble arose in one place, ledger entries elsewhere kept them wealthy. The Islamic world applied similar diversification. Merchants in Baghdad and Cairo used the hawala system, which transferred wealth without moving physical money. It was based on trust and reputation, making it nearly impossible for rulers to confiscate. Even as modern states grew stronger, the dynamic did not change. The great merchant families of Venice, Amsterdam, and London supported state expansion while simultaneously making those states dependent on them. Government bonds, naval contracts, and special privileges elevated these families to an untouchable status. All these examples point to one truth. There are two main ways to protect wealth: owning assets that produce value and not tying those assets to a single system. Throughout history, the wealthy never fully trusted the order offered by the system. They were always willing to step outside it to secure their fortunes. Today is no different. Banks can freeze accounts instantly, currencies can collapse overnight, stock markets can swing violently in days, inflation silently erodes savings. If the elites of the past never kept all their wealth in one place, we have no reason to do so today. The tools have changed: precious metals, foreign investments, private funds, alternative assets. But the logic remains: spread risk, maintain control. True financial freedom is not just having money, it is ensuring that your money survives under any conditions. If this gave you a new perspective, stay tuned. History has more answers for today than most people realize.